Hello everyone. Welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 567 named permutation in string. In this problem, we are given two strings S1 and S2 and we have to return true if S2 contains a permutation of S1 or we have to return false. In other words, we have to return true if one of the S1's permutation is the substring of S2. Now, let's understand the first example. Here we can see that the S1 contains two elements A and B, and S2 contains EID, BA, OOO. Now here we can see that this BA is a permutation of AB. So we have to return true. But in the second example, S2 does not contain any of the permutation of AB, so we have to return false. And here, the definition of the permutation is a permutation is a rearrangement of the characters of a string. That means we can rearrange the characters, but we cannot change any of the character or any other character's frequency. So I hope you understood the problem statement. Now let's move on to the algorithm. Now, to understand the algorithm, we have taken the first example. The first string S contains two elements AB, and the second string T contains 8 element, which is EID, BA, OOO. And here we can see that this substring BA is the permutation of AB. Now, here we can simply have to check the permutations. So how can I do it? So to determine if two string, suppose AB and BA, they are permutation, right? But how can we determine that both of the string is the permutation of each other? We can simply check the frequency of each corresponding characters. And if the frequency of each corresponding characters in both of the string is same, that means we can say that both of the string is permutation of each other, otherwise not. So here we can see that the frequency of A is 1 here. Similarly, the frequency of A is 1 here. And the frequency of B is 1 here, and the frequency of B is 1 here. So we can say that both of the string is the permutation of each other. But it may be possible that the order is different. So far we have understand that to determine whether two string is permutation of each other or not, we have to simply compare the frequency of the each corresponding character in the both of the strings. So I hope you understood it. Now let's apply a sliding window technique here. At first, let's take two vector or two arrays. One name is frequency of the first string S and another is the window. So here, for the frequency, we can say that it has 26 element from 0 to 25, and the frequency of A is 1 and the frequency of B is 1. So we are adding 1 and 1 here. So far so good. And 0 is for A and 1 is for B. Okay, now we have to take a window of size S. Here, the size of S is 2. So we have to take a window which size is 2. And we have to shift the window into the right side. And in each iteration, we have to check whether the element which is presented within the window has the equal frequency of the corresponding string S. And if it is, we can say that this portion is the permutation of the string S. Otherwise, we have to simply shift the window to the right side. And this is how we can utilize the sliding window mechanism. Now, let's understand how these sliding window techniques work here. We have to take one window of size 2. in the second string, which is this E and I. So we have to increase the frequency of E by 1 and the frequency of I by 1. So I is here and E is here. So we are incrementing it. Now we have to check whether these two array are equal or not. But these two array are not equal because the first array contains 1 and 1 in the first two index, but second array does not. So these two array is not equal. So we have to shift the window 1 unit right. Now we have to reduce the frequency of E and add the frequency of D into our corresponding window. So at first we have to reduce the frequency of E here, and we have to add the frequency of D by 1. Okay, now again, these two array is not equal. So we have to shift the window 1 unit right, which is D and B. So we have to remove the frequency of I because I is no longer available in the window. So we have to add the frequency of B here, 1. Now, again, these two array is not equal. So we have to shift the window here. Now our window contains B and A. So before that, we have to remove the frequency of D and add the frequency 1 into A. Now, fortunately, we can say that these two corresponding array is equal. So in this case, we have to return true. And if by shifting the window to the right side, and if we did not find any of the permutation, we have to simply return false. And the overall time complexity of this algorithm is big O of n. And overall space complexity of this algorithm is 2 into big O of 26, which is the size of the array. I hope you understood this sliding window technique. Now let's move on to the code. In this problem, the code is pretty simple. At first, we are given a function named check inclusion, and we are given two of the string s and t. Now, if the string size s is greater than t, that means we have to return false. That means we cannot find any of the permutation. Otherwise, we have to simply take two vector of size 26, and for the first s characters, we have to increase the corresponding window and the frequency of string s and t. Now we have to check whether both of the array is equal or not. If it is, we have to return true. Otherwise, we have to perform the sliding window technique. Now the window size is m, and we have to run a loop from m to t of size. And inside each iteration, we have to increase the corresponding I character frequency in the window and decrease the corresponding I minus m character frequency in the window. And if, again, the window is equal to frequency, we have to return true. Otherwise, this completion of the loop is over and we did not return true. That means we have to return false. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching the video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.